I think for so many agents, it takes a long time to get some momentum. And it's not just the client base, it's learning how to do real estate because schooling doesn't teach you how to do that. So I think being on a team, being with a good mentor, being with a great coach, whatever that is an absolute must for getting started. I'm not chasing the paid leads. I'm not chasing the random strangers. I'm after who do I love and they love me in the community and in my sphere. I think for those agents, they've got to really take some self-analysis of what are they doing to stay top of mind with their people, to stay connected with their people, and to be the irrefutable person that they think about.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I am super excited for today's guest. Larissa Butler and I are actually in the same market, and we both believe in collaboration over competition. And so when I reached out to her, I was like, dude, I really want you on my show because she's a freaking powerhouse. You got to watch what she's doing. Just go follow her online. I promise you. The other thing that's really cool, I don't even know if you're going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it, Larissa, is that Larissa has been on this like fitness journey that's really inspiring to watch as a fitness lover, it's in my blood. I've been loving to watch it. So I hope you all enjoy today's conversation because I know that I am going to. Larissa, hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell the audience, who are you? I mean, we know your name's Larissa, but where are you from? How long have you been in the business? Tell us a little bit about your background and your story.
Yeah, so Pacific Northwest native. I was raised in Kent and now I'm in the Buckley Lake Taps area. So I've always been here. I've been in the industry for 9 years and I actually came out of the industry of finance. So bringing some of that economic background, but it was a bit too techy for me. I needed more people. So I've been in the industry for 9 years. I was on a team for 5 and I've been solo now with an admin for the last couple.
I love it. I love it. So we have kind of a similar background. I did, 12 years in corporate America. Prior to that, I did banking and loans. So like you, I needed the people. Like I let the people side of it. So tell me, like, you came from a team, you started on a team. Do you think that was really a big part of your success that you have today?
Sorry,
Oh, you're good.
my headphones did something weird on me.
Oh, you're good. Can you hear me now?
Can you still hear me, Lynea?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you. I'm
Oh,
so sorry. One second.
okay. Good thing this isn't live.
We're back. Okay.
We're back. Okay.
So sorry.
I said, good thing this isn't live.
Thank goodness. Okay. Can you ask me again? I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Editors, you got some good bloopers on this. We should actually turn that into a blooper reel. That's kind of funny. The backside of filming a podcast. Um,
Yeah.
so I had said, do you think that because you're on a team for 5 years and then you went solo for the last 4, do you think that being on a team really contributed to your success today?
100%. I absolutely agree that being on a team is what can set you up for success. I think of it kind of like college.
Mhm.
I learned so much from that experience, and what I learned is that being on a team was not meant for me long term. I think I got to experience so many things that I wouldn't have otherwise. I think I got to rocket launch my career to really understand the doing of this business because I think for so many agents, it takes a long time to get some momentum. And it's not just the client base, it's learning how to do real estate because schooling doesn't teach you how to do that. So I think being on a team, being with a good mentor, being with a great coach, whatever that is an absolute must for getting started. I'd say like 2-3 year minimum. You're going to pay good money to do that as well. And it's absolutely worth it. So yeah, hands down, I would do it again. Maybe not for 5 years, but I would do it again.
I like that. Maybe not for 5 years, but you're right. It's kind
Yeah.
of like going to school, right? You go to college, you go get your master's degree, and that's essentially what you do when you're on a team. Is you're getting a master's degree in real estate. If you're on
Yeah.
a good team, let's preface that. If you're on a good team with a leader who really understands how to train, etc., like you
Yeah.
really like. There's almost no. You can't put a price on the value that you get from that, for sure.
No. And I'll even add, I didn't have a great experience leaving the team. And so I'm even saying I still recommend being on a team, even though I had a poor experience in the end. And to anybody new that I have conversations with, I recommend the same thing. And I give them the things to look for, the things to prepare yourself for. And it's still absolutely worth it every time.
I love it. I love it. So what are some things that you should look for and prepare yourself for when joining a team?
Um, One, making sure that they are actually going to train you. I think a lot of teams come out the gate saying, we're going to hand you leads, we're going to feed you, we're going to do all these things. But if they're going to just feed you, you're not going to learn the business. You're going to learn how to run their business. And then when you leave, you're going to have nothing. You need to learn how to go find business yourself, convert it yourself, know how to run a business. Because real estate, just as much as it is opening doors and writing contracts, negotiating, it's running a business. And so I think that's the other thing that the team is doing for you from the jump is they're running the business for you. You get to do real estate. And then you get to make a decision. Do you want to also run a business or do you want to stay just opening doors? And then maybe that's your path. And I've seen great agents make great money staying showing agents, staying buyers agents.
Yeah. And we need those. I mean, there's like,
Absolutely.
that's what I tell people all the time. Like, there's really no wrong way to do real estate unless the way that you're doing it is not your way.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
to me, that's the wrong way to do it. And not you are like you, Larissa, me, Lynea, like you as an individual. Like that's why I love the industry because there's so many different ways to do this business. It's just like as
Yeah.
long as it's the way that feels good for you. Um, so I like that. And you actually said something that I heard this morning because I'm doing some team building coaching right now. And one of the things they had said this morning was, do you know who Sanit Agarwal is?
I haven't heard the name. No.
Yeah, so he's a big time coach. Follow him. He's so
Okay. I
inspiring.
need to.
Yeah, I'll send you his info, but he's super inspiring. But he was talking about how if you're a team leader and you are like offer, your offer is leads, like that's actually kind of the death of a team if the offer is only leads because you're probably what happened. I have no idea, but I would imagine that you're leaving the team. You're probably a higher producer, just knowing who you are. You're probably one of the higher producers. You left and like, because you had to actually learn how to build a business. And they were like, oh, shoot, she doesn't need us for leads anymore. So they didn't have an actual offer.
I think, well, and this is what I see too from a team perspective and with leads and with leaders of teams, those people is when your only value is leads. As soon as that person starts converting, you freak out. You try to find another way to offer them value, which you've not already offered them.
Mm,
And when they then now leave, it leaves a big gap. And so you go, okay. Or they stay, but they're kind of a crap agent. They can't really do much other than just convert your leads. They're not going to retain anything outside of that. And so it's not talent. So you got to find like that value, I think. If you're going to be on the team, figure out what your value is. And it can't just be leads. And if you're going to run a team, same thing. It can't just be leads. I'm totally in agreement with you on that.
yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so talking about your transition to being a solo agent, right? You come
Yeah.
from a team. Like, what were some of the scary decisions that you had to make to decide to go solo?
Yeah. So the reason I went solo at the time I did is because made a decision that I wanted to have a second baby, and I didn't want to be establishing my business in like a maternity leave. I felt like that combination was going to be crazy. I'd already done maternity leave once in real estate, and I knew what to expect, but I didn't want to do it on that team, and I didn't want to do it in an establishment mode. So I left the team. I ended up getting pregnant only a couple of months later. So I had almost a full year basically between that period of time where I was establishing my business. I think some of the more challenging parts of that was the legalities of it. So actually establishing the LLC to run with the P&L and having staffing and having contractors and managing talent because I was at a level of production that although I probably could have done it on my own, it wasn't the life balance I wanted to do it on my own. So immediately I had, at that time, not an employee, I had contractors that I was working with and the hiring process and learning how to do that. And I had been in a lead role on the team before, so I had some familiarity with the formal hiring process, what to look for, things like that. I'd had training on it, but I hadn't done it. I hadn't been the one responsible for signing the check, right?
Yeah.
It's different. It's different when you're
Yeah.
actually the one doing it. That was the hardest part is that. And then I had no backup, right? I had no backup unless I worked for it. Whereas before, my backup was easy. I already know the person. I know who to call. They were available. I had a second person in place. When you're solo, you've got to create that. And while I was able to do that, it takes some time. It takes some time to build the right relationships and do it the legal way that the MLS requires us to do, and feel confident because they're running their business too potentially. It's very different. And I think the third thing on that was I felt very isolated. So I had to recreate the sense of community that I previously had. And for me, that showed up with this group of moms. So we're all in real estate. We're all or moms of young babies. And we've just kind of created this amazing, loving group of support of, I'm trying to negotiate a contract. My kid's screaming in the background because I gave him chicken nuggets because he wanted chicken nuggets, right? It's those kind of conversations that we get to bounce. And I think that's created not making me feel like I'm just living on this island of solo real estate.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's important. I think I hear that a lot that, people can feel very isolated in the industry. I personally have never experienced that. So it's hard, because I was on a team, but when I started the business, I was technically on a team, but I've always just been so independent that I didn't really like consider myself part of the team. But I can relate to making a hard decision because my team leader was my mom. And so when I when I when I decided to kind of branch out on my own, I wasn't just leaving a team, I was leaving my mom. So I
Yeah,
could
whoa.
yeah, that was tough. That was tough. Um, so if you could go back and, here you're 4 years in, I kind of want to know where you're at now, but like if you could go back to the beginning of your transition from a team to a solo agent, what would you change based off what you know today?
I probably wouldn't be as hard on myself to get it right the first time.
Uh-huh.
I'm really proud of the way I've done it. Looking back, I can't say I have regrets about something analytical that I did that I felt like I should have done wrong. I feel like I learned through the things in the right order, but I was really tough on myself. And I gave myself no grace for the fact that I'm starting a whole business. I just expected that my production was going to continue to increase at 25% and I was going to be on a roll. And the reality is, I had to learn how to reestablish everything. I maintained my production. I reestablished everything, maintained my production. And I was really hard on myself. And then I hired and maintained my production. And I was really hard on myself. And by production, I actually mean my net. I was maintaining my net on all these things as my expenses grew and as my life got more complicated as I had a second baby, even through maternity leave that year. But I was really, really hard. And then, and this might circle into your wellness questions, is I reduced my hours. I don't work more than 20, 25 hours a week now. And I
Mhm.
net the same. And I'm really hard on myself about it. And so I think at every phase, I wish I would give myself a little bit more grace. And that's one of the things I'm working on this year.
Yeah.
To just give myself some space to be like, no, you're doing okay. You're doing good.
Yeah, yeah. You have classic high achiever syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we all do it, especially because you care, you care.
Yeah.
And as a high achiever, well, do you know what your disc is, what your disc profile is?
Yeah, and it's changed, which is really interesting. So I used to be a CI,
Mhm.
and it has changed now. I'm an ICD.
Yeah. Well, it changes because like when you go through different phases of your life and different phases of your career, different things come out, which is kind of
Yeah,
fascinating, which is why you have to look at the adaptive versus the natural and kind of see where you're at that time. Do you have any idea what your Myers-Briggs is?
that's the EN. Is that
The ENFJ,
yeah?
ENTJ, that one?
Um, I know it's ENF. I think it's ENFJ, and then there's a writer, and I don't know what the writer is.
Yeah, the writer's A or T. So that would be
Mine's
like
T then.
yeah, so you're more of the, like they call it turbulent, but I hate the word turbulent because that's not it's more like tenacious. I like to call it tenacious. Like, so
You know what? Today I'm feeling turbulent. I get that.
there you go. Yours is turbulent today. But so it's very similar. So I relate to that. I can relate to all of that. So I think, you know, I like that you said give yourself grace because the reality is you are doing amazing things. I mean, how much volume did you produce in 2025?
Yeah, last year I was just
Mm.
about 12 million.
Yeah. See, and how many houses is that for you?
For me, that was only 17.
Only 17. Okay.
But I mean, I'm producing 12 million at volume at 17. That's a great average price point.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Only 17. That's not an only. That's like $12 million at 17. That's like what, 800-ish thousand dollar price point, something like that.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
average, yeah.
Yeah. See, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive, right? And there's a lot of people out there who would love to be doing that. And so I just like that you said give yourself grace, because I literally have that written down on my daily planner. Give yourself grace. Be
Yeah.
graceful to yourself. Be nice. Be
Yeah.
kind to
Be
yourself.
nice.
Be
Be nice
nice.
to yourself.
Be nice to yourself. And why are we the hardest on ourselves? Why are we
Oh,
so
yeah.
hard on ourselves versus like, you wouldn't be like that to a team member. Like if your
Yeah.
admin messed up, you might hold them accountable to things, but you wouldn't be mean to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it's like classic high achiever syndrome. Brandon Bouchard talks about it a lot in his book, High Performance Habits, a lot.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I think you wrote this book for me. Anyway, okay, so let's transition to kind of like today.
Yeah.
You've been in the last couple of years. I just saw you and I posted something very similar, so random. You posted something about BMI. I posted something about BMI. I'm like, oh, wavelength. Here we are. But I'd love to know, like, kind of talk a little bit more about that side because you have two children, right?
Yeah. I have 2
You
babies.
have a
Mhm.
super active real estate business. You seem to be very involved in the community.
Mhm.
You have a very good reputation. So let's talk about like how you decided to kind of take on this other identity of Larissa.
Yeah. So, for a little bit of background there, after my second baby, I came out of that pregnancy about 215. And over the period of about 9 months, I dropped down to 140 pounds.
Okay.
So, that was just like quick snapshot of um, a really intense wellness journey that I went on. And I did it with a trainer. I did it the right ways. I did it in the gym. But I really lost myself with babies. And I think a lot of people
Mm,
experience that. I got real low with my first, real low depression and PTSD, and 4 years of therapy before I could even think about having another baby. It was rough.
wow.
So after my second baby, he was actually very redeeming, the whole process, the pregnancy, the birth, all of it. But I knew right after that, I knew very quickly I needed me back. And whatever this new version of motherhood me was with the stretch marks and the loose skin and the parts of me that I'm never going to get back, I
Uh-huh.
really needed to figure out who that person was. And I knew from years of experience in real estate that you don't do anything alone. And so I got a coach right away and hired David Patrick out of Northwest Fitness here in Buckley. Phenomenal. And he's an ex bodybuilder. I don't know why I went the bodybuilder route. I have no idea. I just leaned
I
in.
did too. Oh,
Yeah, you did too. Yeah. But I love it. And so I found workouts that worked really well for me and I worked hard and I just put my head down and I did it. And I'm the type of person in all aspects of my life that once I decide I want to do something, it's pretty dang hard to stop me. If you tell me to do it, probably not going to get it done. But if I decide, it's pretty hard to stop me. And so I decided I wanted to get healthy, and I worked through that, and then I fell in love with it. And since that, I've been building muscle, and I've been shaping my body in a way that makes me feel really proud. Um, and it's different, and it's this whole journey that I get to focus on that is purely focusing on me. I don't have to answer to anybody. I get to control what I'm consuming. I get to control what I'm working out, what I'm doing, and I've just fallen in love with that whole side of me time. It feels very weird to say that the gym is me time, but it is, and I get real selfish about it. I decline calls. 9 a.m. You're not getting a hold of me because I'm lifting weights. So,
hey, I relate
yeah.
with that 100%. So you can keep talking about that all day, every day. I'm right there with you.
But I love it, and I think it's taught me discipline, I walk on the treadmill for my cardio, walking 25 minutes when I only wanna walk 5. I hate cardio, by the way, don't even get me started on cardio. Um, but it's taught me discipline, it's taught me slow growth compounds, it's taught me so many things that are so applicable to the rest of life that it is truly a gift to have a physical practice that you do, a physical wellness practice. And I talk about it with other agents. I talk about it with my friends. And I've seen others that are close to me go on similar journeys since. And it's just so, so cool. So yeah, I will talk about that all day long because I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I I like I said, you could talk to me like all day, every day. It's my thing. It's 100% does not sound weird to me that the gym is me time.
Yeah.
I literally yesterday someone asked me if I would train them. I'm like, no, I won't. you need to hire a trainer for that because that's me time. And,
Yeah.
I don't want to have anyone else with me interrupting my time. Like, no, I won't. So I
Yeah.
100% relate to that. And I think it's really powerful. I mean, because yes, and that's in a lot of what I talk about all the time is like the example I like to use is when people try to go all in on one thing. You usually just kind of fail because you try to do too much at once, right? And it's very relatable to the fitness side,
Mhm.
right? Like you have to do one lift. You have to start with one weight and then add and compound over time and then just watch like, is it about 2 or 3 years you've kind of been on this journey now?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, and, like, just look, like, just watch, like, it's just so cool. I love to watch it as a
Yeah.
consumer. As a consumer of your content, I like to watch it, so it's really inspiring.
Thank you. Yeah,
Um,
it's been fun.
so talk to me a little bit about, like, your business today. Where are you like, what do you have in store for 2026?
Yeah. So I have felt so blessed. This year has started really intense, really fast, very seller heavy, which I love. I have between closings and escrow 5, which is phenomenal. Coming out of the year last year at 17 and to already be at 5 this year feels really, really good.
Mhm.
So this year I am expecting to be much higher than last, but I'm really focused on the value that I'm providing my clients and which clients I'm working with. And what I mean by that is I'm not chasing the paid leads, I'm not chasing the random strangers. I'm after who do I love and they love me in the community and in my sphere. And so super community driven, super event driven, very into my database, feeding the people that already know me. And it's working really well. I'm also focused on luxury. And so I'm in a community where our average price point's 850, and I found that that has worked really well to just focus on those types of homes. And while I sell homes all over and all price points, it's just naturally leaning in that direction, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I love it, I love it. Um, what do you think is the biggest like, in the last couple of years, I mean, what do you think is the number one what's the word I wanna use? Number one tactic, number one strategy, number one thing that you've implemented in your business that really kind of skyrocketed you?
I got very specific.
Okay.
So I'm niching down who my exact client avatar is, meaning the person that I want to work with, niching down with the types of, lead generation, the types of client communication that I want to do. And I'm not spreading myself thin. So I'm just focused on the few things and I'm finding that that's showing up. And what I used to do is I would bounce and I go, oh, it's not working, I'll switch. Oh, it's not working, I'll switch. Oh, it's not working, I'll switch. And that doesn't get you anywhere because you're just switching before it shows up.
Mhm.
And so I think that has worked really well for me in the last couple of years is I got super, super clear on what I want my business to look and feel like in the next 5 years. And I'm just doing that. I'm not doing anything else.
So what does that look like for you? I mean, obviously events, community, are you doing your own community events? Are you going to are you being part of the chamber? Like kind of what does that look like?
So I'm hosting my own community events, and then being involved with the school and like our HOA.
Mhm.
But yeah, our neighborhood, I'm putting together the big summer party and the Easter bash and coordinating neighbors to get together for the fireworks, getting food trucks arranged. I'm just becoming the person that people see online and in the community as the resource for the community. Anytime somebody asks for a plumber, I'm putting my recommendation there. All of those kind of things, I'm just making sure that I'm tied to because I also know that one of my strategies is social media and I'm showing up as a realtor through video, through content. So when people are seeing Larissa sending me a plumber, Larissa's organizing a food truck, Larissa's engaged, and also I'm starting to show up in their feed with all this real estate information, they're now putting it together and I'm just naturally the person they think of.
So let me ask you a question, because that is exactly what yes, that's exactly being a community. That's you just described it. So what do you say to an agent who says, "Well, how do I bring up real estate without bringing up real estate?" right? Like, I mean, you just described that, but that's a common thing. People say it all the time, right? Like, I have a
Yeah.
couple agents that I work with, one who she loves to teach Zumba. And she's like,
Oh, fun.
how do I convert my Zumba clients? I'm like, well, this is how you do it. So what would be your advice to someone like that?
I'm the anti-advice on this. I genuinely think it
Mm.
has to be natural. I
Yep.
I don't think that you can be successful as being the person that's just, "Oh, by the way, do you wanna buy real estate?" I don't think that's gonna work. I think how it works is, "Thank you so much for the class today, Sherry. You were amazing. What are you doing later? I'd love to grab coffee." You get coffee, you're chit-chatting. "What do you do for work?" "Oh, I do this." "What do you do for work?" They're gonna ask you. "Why are you here at 10 a.m. on a Monday?" They're gonna ask you. That's why I go to the gym at the time I do. "Why are you here?" I had one guy ask, "Why are you always here? What's your husband do?" I said, "Oh, no, babe. Mm-mm." And then I
I
sold
love
his house like 4 months later.
I love it. I love it. And it's exactly it, right? It's just it's about being natural, being organic. And like a minute ago when I
Yeah.
said the wrong way to do real estate is the way that's not you, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you just nail on the head. Like, yeah, that's exactly how you do it. You go to do the things you love to do,
Yeah.
make friends, like don't be afraid to talk to people, don't be stranger danger, um be stranger yay, right?
Yeah.
Be that person, don't be afraid to talk to people, and then just like let it show through your content who you are, what you do, as long as it's not real estate vomit all over people all the time.
The real estate vomit people feel. Now, I will say there are people that I know that are highly, highly successful and they wear their name tag and they wear their hat and they do their
Right.
swag and their personality is real estate and they
Yeah.
do great at it. So if that is you, do it.
Right.
It's not me.
Right.
I'm the person that I would love to go grab coffee or a glass of wine and we'll just chit chat about life and it'll
Mhm.
come up.
Yeah. 100%. That's exactly. I love it. I love it. See, that's a collaboration for competition because it's very similar. I actually remember the first time we met. It was because of my being on social media. And then you
Mhm.
said, this is how it happens in real estate too. It's like, hey, Lynea, you want to get coffee? Let's talk about social media. I'm like, yeah, let's get coffee. Why not? And that's literally just how we met. And here it
Yeah.
is. It was like 4 years ago, maybe 3 or
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love it. It's cool. So you have a real estate agent who's been in the business for 8, 9, 10 years, and the market sucks. And so they haven't sold any houses. What do
Uh-huh.
you say?
Well, the market's the same for me as it is for them. And in my perspective, the market doesn't suck. It's definitely different. The market's changed a lot, and I have a strong philosophy that you've got to change with it. So that doesn't mean you change your niche. That doesn't mean you go buy the lead that somebody's trying to sell you. It means that you adapt with the times. Great example, AI. If you're an agent right now and you're not using AI, you're going to get left behind. You'll probably have no business in 5 years. And it's not because AI is going to open the door and AI is not going to write the contract, but AI is going to do the marketing and AI is going to do the marketing on steroids. And so you have to change with the times. I still see realtors putting their signs on like billboards and benches and things like that. And that sometimes works, but also if you're not on social media at the same time, you're going to lose the mind share. And so I
Right.
think for those agents, they've got to really take some self-analysis of what are they doing to stay top of mind with their people, to stay connected with their people, and to be the irrefutable person that they think about. And if you're not in their inbox, on their phone, in their life all the time, they won't remember who you are. They're going to call me because they see me all day.
I love it. I love it. Um, so what are your favorite AI tools that you use?
So right now I'm leveraging ChatGPT at a really high level. I
Uh-huh.
use Claude for my own personal life, my fitness, my mini therapist, but I use ChatGPT for business, and I use it in a couple ways. Actually, I can't say a couple. I use it in a lot of ways. I use it at a high level in a couple ways, but I'm
Mhm.
leveraging it from a GPT level. So that means we're actually writing our own GPTs. I'm not just prompting it, "Hey, give me a caption." Not doing that. We're past that at this point. If
Mhm.
you're not doing that, start. Like we need to at least be there, right? But we're
Yep.
actually coding GPTs, saving them down, and then using that. So we have a full transaction coordinator GPT. Her name's Lisa, and she can put together an entire marketing package, listing description, emails, everything for our new listing like that. and it cut down on 5 hours. We have another one that's writing blogs for us that's focusing on SEO and GEO that's pumping out 30 blogs a month. I have another one that's a business consultant that knows everything about my life, my business, my goals. It's actually set 3 appointments for me at this point. Not that it's
Nice.
putting the appointments on my calendar, but it's recommending things for me to do. I'm doing it and it's getting results.
Smart. Hear that? Create your own. Do your own GPTs, gems. My favorite is Gem. Do you use Gemini at all?
I use it for when it's plugged in, like to email and to Google, but I'm not using it. Like I'm not going to Gemini.
Oh yeah, I love Gemini. I've battle tested ChatGPT versus Gemini, and I feel that Gemini performs significantly better. The other cool thing, like you should look into, is Notebook LM. So all of your clients, you could create a Notebook LM for them, and what happens is essentially you could take all your notes, you take all of your contracts, you take everything, all of their houses that they sell you. So they send you a profile of a house they like. You import all of that, the links into the Notebook LM, and Notebook LM will spit out an exact plan and exact profile for exactly what you need to do for that client,
Love that.
all in one stop. So try it. Like those are two really cool things. I love to hear how people are using AI right now, because
Mhm.
that like AI will be the death of the non-productive real estate agent. AI will be the death of the any not just real estate agent. Let's just be real. Anybody that can't adapt to it. I think that
Yeah.
that it's true. It's true. And as much as you and I were starting out this conversation talking about AI video, I think that the one type of content that should not be replaced by AI is actual video, like
Yeah.
talking head video. So
Yeah.
that's the
I
one
was
thing.
listening to a Gary Vee. He was talking about something the other day and
Mhm.
talking about in just a couple years, nobody's going to believe any video that exists. So it's really important that your videos are real. It's really
Yeah,
important. Otherwise, make them fake and make them obviously fake.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
Carrie. Do you know who Carrie Sauvé is? She runs a big, like, AI business. I mean, she literally programs AIs for brokerages, but,
Sweet.
I met her. I was in Puerto Rico with her in, December. We were at a mastermind together, and she was telling me, like, the way that a lot of people are starting to use AI is not the way that we want AI to move forward. Like, that's what Gary Vee is saying. She's like, "You need to be using AI to where it's quite obviously AI video." So she showed me
Yeah.
an example of one that was her sitting on stairs with jaguars all around her,
Perfect.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was B-roll video of her with jaguars all around her, and she's like, "If your AI is not doing this for you," and I was like, "Okay, that's a cool video." Um, but, like yeah, I have a kind of a little bit of an issue with the way a lot of people are using AI video today. Um,
And it's interesting because it's so new that so I posted one that I thought was really obviously AI. And I got a comment from somebody, "I can't believe you went and did that. That's so fun." And I was like, "What?" So it just made me
yeah.
I was jet
They just
skiing downtown.
wow, jet skiing downtown, like, on
Jet
the road?
skiing in the middle well, you remember when it flooded?
Yeah.
It
Oh,
flooded recently downtown, and so I was on a jet ski downtown talking about a house for sale and how I was still gonna get my clients there, and it was very obviously AI. There's glitches, my teeth were weird. And my
yeah,
client's like, "That's so funny, you got out there on a jet ski." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" So my point just being in that people
yeah,
aren't quite yet recognizing that things are AI, and it is super important that you make it very clear. Jaguars, obvious, right?
yeah,
Skydiving, pretty obvious. You got to make it
yeah,
super clear. Now it is great for leveraging for your
yeah.
listings and getting
Yes.
that to be viralized is so easy right now with AI. And
Mhm.
that's the whole thing when houses are sitting. How do you get your house in front of more people? Through viral videos.
100%. That's how you do it. I love it. Love it. Such good conversation. Okay. So you're going back and you're Larissa 9 years ago, just getting into real estate. Give yourself your number one piece of advice.
So the first thing that came to my mind, I'll just say is again to not be so hard on myself, but to have no limits for where you think you'll build your business in life. I was coming out of, working 60-hour weeks and making a quarter of what I do now. And I thought that was like the greatest thing ever. And I'm tempted to go back and say, you just really have no idea what the limits are. but I also think I wouldn't have worked as hard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so
Yeah.
true. When I talk about you just brought up that actually brought something to my mind of goal setting and how I actually had a group of agents the other day. We're all reviewing 2025. One of them was like, I had these goals and I didn't make them.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, but let's look at it like this. I was like, you sold 4 times more homes than you've ever sold in your entire career. You elevated your price point by $200,000. You signed listings at 4 and 5%, that you've never done before, but you didn't make your goal.
Yeah,
And she was like, "Yeah, I didn't make my goal." And I'm like, "But if you hadn't set your goal that high, if you hadn't set your high sight that high, if you hadn't have given yourself basically a no limits goal, would you have done what you did?" Who knows? I mean, I I would bet probably not.
probably not.
Probably not. So I love that advice. Okay, so you are in Buckley, Lake Taps area. So who's the client that you serve? Because this does get broadcasted to everybody. So who do you serve, and how can the audience help you?
Yeah, so I absolutely love working with single women and moms and families who are relocating. Those are my two favorite groups to work with, and really where a lot of my content is geared and who I kind of try to be with in the community. I think so much of that is because I can relate. I've got a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. I know what that feels like. I know that it's not, just being able to answer the phone at any time of day, but you need somebody to be able to hold your hand through it. You need somebody to take some weight off your plate, and I like to be able to do that. So those are my people. Yeah, Lake Taps, Bonnie Lake, and Buckley area is my favorite.
Love it, love it. Okay, and how can people find you? Best
So
platform?
I'm on all platforms that you can think of pretty much. My tag on almost every single one of them is Larissa Butler underscore realtor.
Okay. Which, by the way, let's talk about branding for a second. I mean, it wasn't in planning of that, but people always ask, what should my handle be? It should be the same across all your platforms. It should just be the
Yeah.
same because you know how easy that was? Larissa Butler underscore realtor.
Yeah.
There you go. Love it. Larissa, this is an awesome conversation. Thank you so much. If you're in the audience and you like what Larissa had to say, make sure to leave a comment on this, but also go and find her. Follow her on social, reach out to her. You've always been so, kind and responsive to me. And I would imagine that's just your personality. So I'm just going
Yeah.
to volunteer that for other people. So thank you, Larissa. This is awesome.
Thank you.